you need in order to make more sales in your business? Let's talk about it. So, if you're brand new to me on this channel, my name is Susan McVeigh. I'm a married mama of two and a business sales and wealth strategist. This channel is all about business, entrepreneurship, which includes money and sales, faith and family thrown in the mix. So, today's topic, I'm going to dive into the two key components that every business needs to focus on in order to make sales in your business. And it doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, if you've already made one sale, the fact of the matter is that you have all the skills, the tools, the resources available in order to keep making more sales. But the problem is that most entrepreneurs that I know are creative, they're visionary, they are idea makers. And so you have a lot of spinning plates, you have a lot of different things, you have a lot of irons in the fire. And the excitement, the thrill of the hunt, the chase is something that, let's face it, it is sometimes more satisfying than the actual result. And so you may find yourself saying, Self, I love to start things more than I like to finish. In fact, you may have thought to yourself, Self, I am not able to finish. Well, that's a blatant lie, because if you've already made one sale, you have already finished something. Okay. Now, chances are you're going to be at different stages in your business. And this applies no matter what, because even for very successful entrepreneurs that have made 7 figures plus, what I have noticed is that they go chasing after the shiny objects, AKA squirrel syndrome. And instead of doing more of what works, they decide, I'm going to try something new. Sound familiar? So if we go back to the basics and we focus on the only two things that you will ever need in order to make sales in your business, number one is you need something to sell. Now, the something that you need to sell doesn't even need to be something that you have created. If you go into the market right now and you look at people who are selling other products, other services, AKA affiliate marketers. Hello, Marilla. I hope I pronounced your name right. Affiliate marketers don't even make the thing that they're selling, and yet they're able to make sales because they have something that somebody else wants, right? They find a product that somebody else wants, and then they sell it for that person who already created it. So if you right now are thinking, I don't really have a business, or you have a business and you'd like to sell more, and you are flatlined, you've plateaued, or you just have lost the joie de vivre, okay? I want you to go and find, number one, if you've made a sale, keep making more sales of the same thing that you already just sold. If you don't know what to sell because you don't have a product to sell, go and find something that you buy all the time and sign up for their affiliate, partner, referral, ambassador. These are words that they're going to use in order to help you sign up for them and pay you for promoting them. That's what I do with my clients, right? So you can go right now onto any store, any place, and just Google it. Do they have a referral program? Do they have some sort of ambassador program? Do they have an affiliate program? And the product that you buy the most for your own family, for your own self, that could be something that you get paid to promote to your friends, to your family, to strangers, through your social media, wherever you would like. Okay? So again, number one, you need something to sell. Even if you don't have something created because you haven't created anything yet, it's okay. Everybody has an opportunity to sell something. Number two is now you need someone to sell it to. So if you are an established business owner, and oftentimes what ends up happening is you are going to your friends and family and hawking your wares. Now, if you have been in business for any length of time and you have achieved a certain level of success, you may hit a plateau and say, I don't have any more people to sell to. Well, that's a lie, because there are more than, I think, 7 or 8 billion people on the planet. Surely there are more people who need what it is that you've created. You just are afraid to open up your mouth and talk to the people who need you the most. Now, here's the thing. You are not there to convince people to buy from you. That is pure desperation. What I want you to consider is an analogy that I love to use, and you can agree to disagree, but I'm still going to use it anyways. I want you to imagine a doctor who cures cancer. Okay, so where I am in the world, they're called oncologists. I hope they're called oncologists everywhere, but I'm not going to make that assumption. Okay, so a cancer specialist. If you had cancer, you're not going to just go to a regular old doctor. You're going to go to a cancer specialist. In fact, you're probably going to insist that if you suspect that you have cancer, if cancer runs in your family, if something was to happen and you needed a diagnosis, you're going to go see a doctor who specializes in cancer. Now, I don't know what your business is. You can put it in the comments below if you feel free to, but you are a specialist in whatever it is that you are doing inside of your business. You are like that cancer doctor. There is somebody right now who is struggling to figure out, do I have cancer? Do I not have cancer? And if I do have cancer, who can help me? Well, that's your person. Your person somewhere on the other side of your phone, somewhere across the world, is searching for you. They are desperately looking for you. So you don't have to chase them. You don't have to convince them. You just have to be somewhere where they can find you. And if you are hidden away somewhere in your home, in your car, in a classroom, in somewhere that they cannot see where you are and who you are and how you can help them, then how do you expect that they're going to be able to buy from you? You have a cure to something that they are struggling with. You offer them valuable medicine. Nobody goes to the cancer doctor and says, oh my gosh, you're terrible for offering the services that I need. Do they not get paid well for what they do? They do. So if you have something to sell that offers a valuable service to somebody else, if you find that person, not because you're chasing after them, but simply because you're speaking something that directly speaks to their problem or the promise that you offer, and it is truthful, right? Like you're not selling snake oil because nobody needs that stuff. You're selling something to someone who is already looking for you, already looking for your product and service. And you're speaking in such a way that they understand you, because sometimes what ends up happening is we try to overcomplicate things and we try to sound fancier because lots of reasons. You might feel like you need to work harder. You might feel like you don't deserve to receive their money. You might feel like, well, this is so easy for me. Should I really be charging? Yeah, you should. When you're able to find the right people, right? Because there's 3 types of problems that might arise. When you have something to sell, and then you have someone to sell it to. Number 1, you're selling the wrong thing to the wrong people. That's the most common. You're selling the wrong thing to the wrong people, okay? Number 2 is you're selling the wrong thing to the right people, still the same outcome. And then number 3 is you're selling the right thing to the wrong people. All outcomes lead to no sales, and it's going to frustrate you. Now, here's how you know if you're on the right track. Number 1, you have already made sales to the right people, but somehow you have felt like that's not enough. Stop thinking that and just keep going and keep trucking ahead with the thing that already has worked for you, because if it ain't broke, don't make it broken. Okay? Sometimes we try to make more problems because we're problem solvers, and we're trying to give solutions to things that's not a problem to begin with. Stop doing that. It makes your life harder. Hello. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Depeche. Does this make sense to you, what I'm just sharing here? Okay? So if you notice that what you have sold in the past has already been selling and you're tempted to switch, and there's no reason for you to do that, go back to what was working and keep doing that until it doesn't work. If, for whatever reason, it has not worked as well as you would like, maybe you're not getting traction. If you have a product or service that has sold, like a competitor has that, and it's selling to the people that you want to sell to, then you know that your idea is valid. Then it comes down to your messaging. Now, messaging is a very specific piece within your marketing. Messaging is connected to your position in the marketplace. And what that means is, how do people see your product or service relative to everything else that they have available? And this is not about the competitors. Okay. So, as an example, if you're a personal trainer, your competitor is not necessarily another personal trainer. Your competitor, if they're a busy mom like me, could be the after school activity that they have to get their kids to. So if you were to target your exercises for a very specific market and to speak about what it is that they're dealing with that is competing for their ability to purchase from you, guess what? Instantly, you have now positioned yourself within the context of what they're struggling with. When we think about product placement, because that's really about positioning in a very physical way, but it gives you like a real life example. If you go into the store will product place things so that it's positioned in such a way that you can see it. You have to position your problem and your product and solution, which is your service, as the natural byproduct of what it is that they desire. You have to inject yourself into the conversation that they're already having. That is what your messaging does. Does this make sense? Hello, Cool Goku. Nice to see you. Depeche, that's okay. You're watching this at 5, guys. I love it, right? And sorry, I was trying to use natural light because I'm in front of the window, but I was on the computer. I was working on some stuff for clients, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to come on here and talk about this for you. To make sales, you only need the 2 things. You need something to sell. You need someone to sell it to. That is it. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. If you have both of these 2 things, and then you are finding yourself at a crossroads, either because you're struggling, if you've already made sales before, I want you to rewind. Does anybody remember Be Kind, Rewind? I'm probably dating myself. I want you to rewind, and I want you to think, when I was making sales at the level that I wanted, right? We always want more. You always get more. But first, keep doing what's already working. So rewind back to when I was making consistent level that I was still okay with, still want more, but still okay with here. What was I doing? Who was I selling to? Where did they come from? How did I find them? How did they find me? How did I show up? Where was my business present for them? And if you're not sure, go back and ask your best customers, how did you find me? How did you find me? That question could be like gold to you right now, okay? Because I guarantee it's much simpler than you think. So if you already have an established business, rewind and go back to what was already working and keep doing that until it doesn't work anymore. Now, if you already say, but Susan, that's me, it kept working until it was broken. Okay, so then you have to assess what part was broken. Is it the offer? Is it the people? Is it both? Or is it the messaging? Did you no longer consider what's happening in your specific niche for your specific market and maybe what they're dealing with right now? Is your current marketing, which is the messaging that you apply to your market, does it no longer resonate because there is a more pressing concern for your market? So we'll go back to the health example. Busy mom, you're a personal trainer, and you are now competing for my time with my child's activities because I only got so much time in the day. If all of a sudden my child is now graduated, right? That might be a different conversation. Now, that being said, do you want to help those people? Or what else might be going on in their life right now? That, as an example, maybe it's inflation. That is a real life thing. Like we can't just, no, it's not the money. Yeah, it could be the money. It could be that they legitimately have had to cut out activities, right? And so how can you give them something that right now could tide them over? Or do you switch your market and you go up higher? Who hasn't been impacted by inflation that would still benefit from your product and service? Go up an income bracket, go up 2 income brackets. Don't be afraid to do that. Sometimes we feel like, well, how do I talk to them? The same way you talk to anybody else. They're human beings. They're not special. They really aren't. They still eat, they still poop, they still cry, they still sleep, right? They're still odd. They are, just like all of us are. Don't be afraid to switch if your messaging, if your positioning is no longer aligned to the people that you want to serve, the people that you have had success with. If they are facing challenges in being able to continue with your services, which could be a real thing, I don't know. I don't know what your business is all about. But I'm giving you these examples so that you have an idea of it's not hopeless. I can still do this. I can still make sales. Of course you can. There are winners and losers in every round of business, in every round of life. And especially when things get tough, that's when the true gems arise. That's when diamonds are made in the greatest amounts of pressure, but also in the times of greatest pullback in the market, in the market conditions, in recessionary types of conditions. That's when you start seeing legacy types of wealth being built. That's when you start seeing people like the Waltons. That's how they started. During a downturn in the market, they found a solution to a problem that a lot of people were facing. And they made a lot of money. They continue to make a lot of money. Now, I'm not going to speak to their character, personality, values, yada, yada. I'm speaking specifically to the fact that when there's an opportunity in the market, are you going to rise up and take it? Or are you going to shrink and allow fear and allow what other people say is possible or not possible take hold of you? So, recap. 2 things. Number 1, you need something to sell. You don't even have to create that something to sell. Number 2 is you need someone to sell it to. That's it. Okay. If you want help, come join 6-Figure Coaching. It is going on right now. And we have a live call tomorrow. Okay. If you want access to it, it is a paid program. But it is right now at the time of this live, which is March, what date are we on? March 13th. It's $500 for essentially unlimited coaching, which is kind of crazy pants. But my gift to you, because I don't want money to be an excuse. And also, when you know how to collapse time and make more money in a shorter period, you get more freedom. Not just financial freedom, you get more freedom, because there's a lot of people who make a lot of money and they are not free. So if you want access to that, comment coaching and I'll send you the link to join. And if you have any questions on this, post them below and I might pick them up for my next video. Okay, so be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know where you're watching from, because I would love to know. Cool Goku. My barber, where I found him, it was Facebook. Oh, your barber asked where you found him. Yeah. See? Just pay attention, right? Where are people finding you? Where are you finding them? And is that someplace where you could go in order to find more of your people? It's called MKP, My Kind of People. My kind of people could be at the grocery store. My kind of people could be on Facebook. My kind of people could be on YouTube. My kind of people could be on Instagram. My kind of people could be over on Blue Sky. My kind of people could be at the library. Like, there are people everywhere. They're hiding in plain sight. So lest you think my people are nowhere to be found, open up your eyes. Like literally just open up your eyes with the curiosity of a child and just allow yourself to believe they're everywhere. Opportunity is endless as long as you're willing to take advantage of it. And I don't mean from a gross spammy way. I mean from a take the bull by the horns and rise up and do what God has called you to do, because that's what life is for. Okay, so with that, we will talk to you very soon. Again, Six Figure Coaching, if you want access to that, put coaching in the comments or send me a message. Info@susanmcveigh.com is my email. And just let me know that you're looking to access that particular program, and I will shoot you over the details to join. Thanks so much, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.